Hello, Mustangs. I'm Alex Phillips, your Stampede's World News Editor, and today we'll be conducting our first political debate. Our two debaters today will be seniors Robert Good and Sophia Moreno. Each debater will have 2 minutes to answer their question, and alternate between who goes first and last, with 1-minute intervals before rebuttaling the answer. The topic today will be immigration, which leads us to our first question. Is there a problem with immigration? Sophia, you are up.
So my opinion in this situation is immigration is a problem. We have about 11.4 illegal immigrants found across the United States. Yet they're abused in the workforce, they're paid under minimum wage. And why? Because they don't have a piece of paper saying that they belong in this country, that they weren't born in this country, just because they didn't wait the line. Many people come to the United States is for freedom. This is what we stand for. We're a nation of immigrants. People need to realize that these immigrants, illegal immigrants, are human. This is a humanitarian problem that we have within the nation. So to better it, we need to be more welcoming. We need to create situations where we can help the immigrants in workforces, reduce abuse, and find a way to make a better path for citizen status. And then that's my point of view on this.
So like Sophia said, there are over 11 million illegal immigrants in America. So with that problem being said, they're, unlike what Sophia says about allowing them to keep what they're doing and how what we're doing is wrong to them, I see otherwise saying that they're not citizens here, so why should we treat them as citizens here? That's not equal to everyone else that's doing everything properly in the orderly fashion it should be done. So there's, with the saying of it's wrong to have, like what Sophia is saying, to take turns and wait their turn and enroll. Well, we were built on a nation of sacrifice. So if they're not willing to sacrifice for their patients, then what are they willing to sacrifice for our country to help develop us to be better?
I understand your viewpoint of waiting in line, and I'm all for having patience, but we need to realize that within the United States, there is a quota on when we can give citizenship. You'll be surprising, it's not even 1 million. It's 645,000 citizenship that they give out. And that's also quota between races. So countries that are going through poverty, they have a limited amount because of that quota, which isn't very fair just because they come from a impoverished country. The United States is a beacon of hope for many people across the world, and we need to continue being that beacon of hope, that American dream value that we have to give out.
With the idea of a quota being in America, the quota makes sense in America. If we're allowing anyone to come here at any given time, then what makes sense for like our own safety and everything like that? Like in Germany itself, to like if we were to be related to them, they're letting many immigrants from Syria, like refugees, coming to the States at their own will. And they're paying the price. They're undergoing through bombings from their immigrants and everything like too, of why they're closing their own borders. But to continue it, we have people from other countries that are waiting their turn, and we have refugees in Africa that are waiting their turn. So what gives other people that advantage over them to come into the country without proper documentation?
All right, so after establishing that immigration is a problem, how should we as the United States treat this problem? Robert?
With the issue of illegal immigration in America, we should start the problem with getting rid of all the illegal immigrants that have crime rights in America and are in our jails. Our jails are full, and we need to do something about that. And to do that, we can start off with illegal immigrants. In jails and crime rates, there are between 177,090 and 960 to 2.1 million. That number is various, and the true numbers in between there. But with that being said, that's still more that we could save money on jails, and that's more that we're taking out of our own pockets and our own tax dollars.
Trying to rebuttal Robert's point of view on the amount of illegal immigrants that are in jail. Most of those are from sanctuary cities, and those are probably minor incidents because illegal immigrants have the lowest rate of doing a crime. The most known one happened in Los Angeles, where in a sanctuary city, he killed a young girl. He was sent back out to Mexico and he came back. That is the only well-known incident of an illegal immigrant in a sanctuary city. To create a better path for immigration, I think we need to increase the quota. We need to be more welcoming, and we cannot kick out 11.4 illegal immigrants. The effect they'll have economically will be tragic. Our prices for crops would increase, inflation would rise, and I wouldn't say that our unemployment rate would go down, especially since as of right now it's 4.6%. In fact, most of the jobs illegal immigrants have are low-paying wages that people don't want. They're the ones growing your fruit, growing your vegetables, cleaning your houses, yet they're still paid under the minimum wage.
With Sophia's counterargument to illegal immigrants and breaking the laws, even if the laws broken are still minor, they're still broken laws, which it should. And if they're not even supposed to be in the country in the first place and do not have the proper documentation, why should they let this be passed? And continuing with that too, about the jobs and the homeless, that's a fact too that plays into effect, where we're here allowing people to come into our own country when we're trying to fend for our own first. So what sense does it make trying to care for others before we can care for ourselves?
Over the comment Robert made over we should fend for ourselves other than other people, I see immigration as a humanitarian issue. It is an issue, there's a large displacement of humans going out into a world they have no idea in. They don't speak the language, but yet they're willing to work twice as hard as any other American, and that is a true fact. Just because they need to get their jobs, they need to make money, and they have the work ethic. As well to the fact that we need to close off benefits for them, there is a 70% of illegal immigrants pay taxes. They pay to the government, yet they don't receive health care unless you're here in California. We do have a driver's license for the illegal, but in many other states, they don't have that. But 70% do pay taxes, they pay their debt. The only thing that's different is they don't have the piece of paper saying that they belong to a nation.
And moving on to our third question, do you think President Donald Trump's building a wall solution is valid? Robert?
With the building of a wall, it makes not that much sense. In the fact that it's too much money and it takes up too much time. A faster and more plausible route to take would be to hire more people to control the border and control aircraft, because even 40% of illegal immigrants come over airplanes. So what we should be doing is watching over our airlines, controlling air traffic, and be able to protect our border better with men, not a brick.
This is where I actually agree with Robert. Building a wall is not going to stop anything. There's actually still walls, fences around the Mexican border, the Mexican-United States border. It is true 40% do fly over planes, so under that consideration, we need to increase our Air Force. But there's already 18,000 people working the border. The United States-Mexican border is the most watched border around the world. As of right now, it's obviously not working out for us. Actually, there is a % drop in immigration last year, but that is due to the fear of Donald Trump. The only way we can stop it is by making it more available. By making it more available, less people would want to come to the nation. It's just as easy as that.
So continuing with what Sophia said, yes, we have a lot of people watching our border, but if there's so many people watching it, there needs to be more if it's not working.
As of right now, there is an increase of drug use that is passing through the border, and the only way to stop it is, yes, through the force, but actually the force actually doesn't mostly stop illegal immigrants. They stop drug transactions that happen through the border, under the tunnels, or through plane. So by increasing the force, yes, it would be creating jobs, that'd be great for the economy, and it would be giving people jobs. But it's an unnecessary use. It's not going to decrease the amount of people traveling illegally. 40% is a growing number of people going through plane. Easily, they get a tourist visa, they just overstay their tourist visa, and that's what needs to be checked. The amount of people going through tourist visas, there needs to be a chart of who is coming in, how many visits they're having, and then once their tourist visa stops, you call them up. That's the way to stop it.
Now, going on to our last question, how much freedom should the government give our immigrants? Sophia?
So as I've said before, 70% of illegal immigrants pay their taxes. I believe if you pay for the taxes, the nation should be giving back to you. Just because you don't have a piece of paper, just because you weren't born in the nation, you should be receiving benefits for you giving back to the country. Many illegal immigrants work, they feed the citizens, they are as patriotic as us. What makes them so different other than a piece of paper? I mean, you're giving back already to the nation, you should be getting benefits. Like Cal has the benefits for healthcare. We get driver's license for illegal immigrants. They're human beings. They're not just aliens.
So the fact on immigrants that are here naturally, of course, they deserve the equal rights that everyone gets, like, because they're citizens. But for the terms of illegal immigration and illegal immigrants or illegal aliens, like Sophia said, 70% pay their taxes. But last time I checked, 70 doesn't equal 100. So why should all of them be getting the same respects and rights like that we all get? They're not all paying their taxes, so that makes not that much sense, and it doesn't add up.
Now, you say that 70% isn't 100, but can we talk about the 1% who barely pay taxes and they're part of the citizens? Illegal immigrants, they double the amount of the wealthy of their paid taxes, and yet they get the most benefits. They get through the tax breaks, and they get to have the safety of not being underpaid. So to me, it only makes sense that since you're paying taxes, you should be given back the benefits. We have the given God rights that John Locke gave us. So it's only right that we get the benefits back just because we don't have a piece of paper.
That piece of paper is more than just a piece of a tree. So the fact of that piece of paper is that it's supposed to represent of something more than yourself and who you are. So that piece of paper represents being a part of more than your, like, a nation, being part of a community, being part of growth. If you don't have that piece of paper, you're a stranger. You wouldn't walk into, like, if you were in your own home and a random person or stranger you didn't know walks into your house, sleeps in your bed, eats your food, would you appreciate it as if it was just any other person?
All right, and that wraps up our first political debate. Tune in next time, Mustangs, for our next one.